such an asshole.
Sick Cappy, because I got the second shingles shot for the vaccine. Oh my God, you took a vaccine. Yes, the shingles one I did take because I don't want shingles. It's been around for a while. I don't need mothers. I do not need mothers. Thank you. So what they tell you is that you feel like shit for the day after, and they're not lying. It's just like having a headache and having a nightmare. So let's go and do some very underwhelming consulting videos here. Hey, Cappy, hope you're doing well. I would like to make a video request. Keep more personal details anonymous, please. I've been a huge fan since I was 17. Your advice played a major role in shaping my life. Most importantly, you saved me from going into debt for an out-of-state journalism degree. Dude, you know how happy that makes me that I deprived all those journalism professors of your money and that you're not Poe. That one piece of wisdom alone changed the course of my life, and I'll always be grateful for it. Good. I'm glad you're employable. I mean, it's great. And you know what? If your dream was to be a journalist, you can do that now. You don't need a degree. You just have to speak the truth. That's all. It hates the quote professional journalists. I'm now a young man, graduated a year ago with a degree in software engineering, debt free. I'm currently working full time, doing software stuff in a very nice state, making $75,000 a year. It's not exactly what I dreamed of, but dude, you're in your 20s, young 20s, and you're making 75 grand. You're doing well, man. You're doing well. It doesn't get much better than that. It's not exactly what I dreamed of, but with current tech market, I'm thankful to be gaining experience of building a solid foundation. I live a minimalist life, renting a room for a low amount per month with a good friend. I own a car. I have zero debt. Okay, good. I've been lifting 5 days a week since I was 18. I'm in great shape, and I'm dating a beautiful conservative lady. I won't go into details about that. Life's good and stable. That said, I've always had the goal of living abroad. I've traveled to 10 countries and realized how affordable and enjoyable life can be in Southeast Asia or South America. With the way my finances are going, if I keep working and saving, I could realistically fund a 2-year stint abroad within a year and a half, maybe even sooner if I sell some things. So here's where I'd love your insight. How long do you think I should keep working and saving before making the move? Should I aim for that year and a half mark? Would you recommend pushing for more security or even going sooner while I'm young, unattached and mobile? You're not, dude, you're in your young 20s. You could do it in your 40s if you wanted to. Just looking for some of that no BS Cappy style wisdom to help guide in the next step. Wishing you the best. The girls. All right. So I'm all for that. You don't have any debt. That's the main thing. So in a certain sense, you have earned it. But dude, you have 1 year experience in a tech recession with a tech background. I would stick around for several years to get at least 2 years experience, more like 3, depending on how well they treat you at your current employer, maybe even 4. And I would not be doing such a large and committed 2-year trek overseas. I would, given where you are, I would travel to South America because it's a hell of a lot closer than Southeast Asia. And I would do, like, if you got 4-day weekend, go down to Colombia. You got yourself, take some time off. Why don't you and your girlfriend, unless you don't want her to come along, why don't you guys go down and check out Panama for a 3 or 4-day weekend? That's what I would be doing for the next 2 to 3 years. So you could start scoping out and reconnoitering countries that you have an interest in. 3-4 days at a shot. Use your vacation time. Time it with, Memorial Day, or where you get 3-day weekends, and just, Paraguay's way the fuck south. But just, can you hit Central America and South America? See if you can hit those countries. See if you like them, and see if you can narrow it down. Because going overseas for 2 years, boy, that's a commitment. And yeah, unless they're allowing you to work remotely, you're gonna have to quit your job. And I don't think, like, even me doing a month in Asia was too fucking long. I learned that about myself, where I'm like, I can figure out if I like a place on the first day. I'll be like, yep, this is it. This is not it. So the next trip I do in Asia, it's going to be like 2 days maybe here, 2 days maybe here, 2 days maybe there, and then 2 days on the way back out. It was I don't need that long. And I think saving up and then quitting your job, going to whatever countries you want for 2 years, that I'd start, especially while you're here in the Western Hemisphere. Why don't you start scratching off individually, which you could start doing now? You have no debt. You can afford flights down there. Check out Colombia. I'd do that. I would do that. At least scratch South America off the list. You're looking for reasons to disqualify countries. You're also, I don't want to be so pessimistic. You're also looking for places. Oh, really? I really like it here. I like the culture or whatever. That's what I'd be doing between now and I would try to get 4 years experience on your resume. And save the money. Save the money. I know you don't have debt, but build up some money so that maybe you can go and buy property or a house or a condo down the road. You also want to build up your resume. 1 year is not going to be enough. You want to, get 3 to 4 years. You'll still be in your 20s by the time you're ready to go. And then you'll have a much better idea. Like, oh yeah, I'm not going to do 2 years in South America. I mean, Roosh did. Read the book, A Dead Bat in Paraguay. That's a good book by Roosh. He did 16, 18 months in South America and Central America. And then I'd start worrying about flying over the Pacific, because you might, look, that flight is a pain in the ass. That is a fucking miserable flight. I would go do South America first. 3-4 years go by, you got yourself a nice little, more than a micro fuck you fund of money. You could start buying property. You could start looking at, you can live or rent dirt cheap for 5 years. Now you can play an away game more permanently. And by that time, you'll definitely have reconnoitered South America. And you'll either, yeah, I really like this place, or no, I don't like this place. All right, time to move on to Asia. And there I wouldn't even spend 2 years over there. I'd do like 2 months, maybe max, and do the same thing, check it out. And then when time is done, like, okay, where do I want to go? Where do I want to be? But yeah, that 2 years, that's a big time commitment. You've been to 10 places, so you already have affordable, enjoyable. So, I mean, you probably already have an idea, I guess, by now. Keep working, realistically funded 2-year stint abroad within a year and a half, maybe even sooner. Let's definitely go 3. Get some money. My main concern is your resume. I want to make sure that you didn't waste your time going to computer science school. You don't waste your career, and that down the road you can go ahead and find employment, whether it's remote or overseas or here in the United States. That's what you didn't go to school for 4 years to work one and say, fuck this place, I'm out. Let's build up our resume a little bit. And quote, but I won't be young. You'll still be young. Dude, all these horny old men that were on the plane flying over the Philippines, they could handle it. You can handle it. Come on. All right. But generally speaking, you got no debt. You got the money. Yeah, you've earned it, but I'd still bolster up the resume. Drake, $2 per Cappy. Overseas is great and people are better. Yeah, I know that. I know that. But he's got to be able to live overseas. And he's got to consolidate his gains with his education, his background. All right, there you guys go. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.